Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, XPRIZE chooses another moon competitor. Gone West, the father of the Boeing 747. More information learned about Germanwings suicide copilot. I'm Bree Cross. It's September 2nd, 2016, and this is Airborne Unlimited. XPRIZE has officially verified Team Synergy Moon's launch agreement as part of the $30 million Google Lunar XPRIZE, which is a global competition for privately funded teams to land an unmanned spacecraft on the surface of the moon. The Synergy Moon mission will use a NEPTUNE 8 rocket built and launched by Interorbital Systems to carry a lunar lander and at least one rover to the surface of the moon, launching from an open ocean location off of the California coast during the second half of 2017. Team Synergy Moon is one of 3 Google Lunar XPRIZE teams now set to compete in 2017, joining SpaceIL and Moon Express. The remaining 13 teams have until December 31st, 2016 for their launch agreements to be verified by XPRIZE in order to proceed in the competition. To win the Google Lunar XPRIZE, a privately funded team must successfully place an unmanned spacecraft on the moon's surface that explores at least 500 meters and transmits high-definition videos and images back to Earth before the mission deadline of December 31st, 2017. The man known as the father of the 747 has gone west. Joe Sutter passed away earlier this week at the age of 95. In a message posted to the Boeing website, Boeing President and CEO Ray Conner called Sutter, quote, one of the giants of aerospace and a beloved member of the Boeing family. Conner went on to say that early in Sutter's career, he had had a hand in many iconic commercial airplane projects, including the Dash 80, its cousin the 707, and the 737. But it was the 747, the world's first jumbo jet, that secured his place in history. Sutter led the engineering team that developed the 747 in the mid-1960s. Boeing employees involved in the project became known as the Incredibles for producing what was then the world's largest airplane in a record time of 29 months from conception to rollout. It remains a staggering achievement and a testament to Joe's incredible determination, according to Conner. After the break, Andreas Lubitz reportedly had problems in training.
Redbird is quickly becoming the industry standard for flight training. Since Redbird introduced its revolutionary FMX in 2007, colleges, universities, and flight training operations around the world have integrated Redbird products into their curriculum. It's time to discover what Redbird can do for you. Join the migration.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Welcome back. If you would like to be a supporter of Airborne Unlimited, send an email to jim@aero-news.net. The Germanwings co-pilot Andreas Lubitz, who last year deliberately flew an Airbus A320 into a mountainside in France, had struggled in flight school, according to new information released to the public. Fox News reported the release of this information that dates back to an interview a few weeks following the crash. One flight instructor told the FBI that Lubitz was, quote, not an ace pilot, and that he had failed a test due to situational awareness issues. Another instructor said that he had problems with procedural knowledge and demonstrated difficulty both in watching instruments and paying attention to what was going on outside the airplane. Matthias Kippenberg, the president and CEO of the Airline Training Center in Arizona, told the FBI that Lubitz had failed one of 5 check rides, but said that the failure was unremarkable. Students are given the opportunity to retake tests, he said, and only 1 or 2% wash out of the program. It's Friday, and that means that it's time for our ANN CEO and Editor-in-Chief Jim Campbell to check in with his weekly barnstorming commentary. This week, Jim's going to talk a little bit about our business. Here at ANN, we're looking to the future of our Aeroverse so we can bring that future to you. Here is this week's barnstorming.
Thanks, Bree, and hi, folks. Well, we've been hinting for a while that there are some interesting things happening here at Aero-News and Airborne and Aero-TV, and I got to tell you that the interesting things we've been hinting at, well, they're a lot more interesting than we let on. At Oshkosh, we sat down and worked with a number of people about programs and projects that have been in our minds for the better part of a couple of years, things that expand dramatically on the Airborne Partnership Initiative, things that expand on the Innovation Preview Series, and yes, we have a tentative date or period assigned now for the Aviation Transformation Conference. And over the next few weeks, you'll be hearing more about this as we work out some of the final details, agree on what we're going to say with all the various partners involved, and unveil some really exciting news to you. But we need you. We need your help. We need your support. We need your input. We need to know what we're doing well, what we're not doing so well, and how to do it better, what you need from us. From all aspects of aviation. For those of you with some influence in the industry, we need your help and outreach. The Hoover project will be hitting its high stride here pretty quick. There's some number of documentary projects that'll be following Hoover that are incredibly important as well. We're building a whole foundation around that based on some great advice. There are some amazing things in our future. We've never been more excited, but at the same time, we've never needed all the resources that we can gather together as much as we need them now. For those of you who work with the aviation community or outreach with the various businesses out there, let them know that you support Aero-News and Airborne and Aero-TV. We're going to be doing a major sponsor drive over the next couple of weeks in order to be able to build up additional resources for growth, because growth is incredibly resource intensive. But then again, great problem to have. And we need you to reach out all over the aviation community and let them know that the things that we've been preaching, the things that we've been talking about really matter. Aviation is never going to be what it was in 1979. It takes new attitudes, new directions, new approaches to build a new aviation community. It's not that aviation's dead. It's just that the world around us has changed so dramatically that we need to change with it. Through the Transformation Conference, through the Airborne partnerships, through the innovation previews, and through about 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 other projects that we've got going for the next year or two, we're going to show the world how empowered and empowering the aviation community and the aerospace world has made the world around it. It is an extraordinary thing we do. We fly, we build, we create, we motivate, we transport. And it is our job to show not just the aviation community, but the world around us, how extraordinary the Aeroverse is. And when I say the world around us, wait till you hear the biggest outreach of all that we've got on tap for the end of next year. We're about to show the world about some of the extraordinary people, planes, products, and overall experiences available through aviation and aerospace. I promise you, cool stuff coming. We've worked hard for it. We need to work much harder, and we need your support. For the Aero-News Network, Airborne and Aero-TV, I'm Jim Campbell, and, well, I kind of got used to sleeping 4 hours a night, but that's over. See you later.
After these messages, 5 master flight instructors were designated in August.
Concorde's recombinant gas RG series sealed battery technology produces a high-performance battery with the advantages of being pre-tested and fully charged at the factory. Find out more about Concorde's entire line of batteries at www.concordebattery.com. Concorde, the heart of your aircraft.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
Welcome back. With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we're summarizing some other interesting stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. 5 master instructors have renewed their master instructor designation in the month of August with Master Instructors LLC. They are Lance Bartel from Bel Air, Kansas, Timothy Brill from Reno, Nevada, David Simpson from San Diego, California, David St. George from Ithaca, New York, and Richard Wright from Phoenix, Arizona. The Sikorsky Sea King helicopter that was used as VIP transport for President Richard Nixon has been on display at the Nixon Museum since 2006. It has become badly weathered and last week was removed to be restored before being put back on display. General Atomics' new UAS Flight Training Academy graduated its first class of GA-ASI aircrews earlier this month. 3 pilots comprise the Academy's first graduating class. 5 additional pilots and 6 sensor operators will follow shortly. If you jump on eBay, you may have the chance to buy some 747 airframe parts. The Concord Alliance is a digital media company that produced a virtual 747 video using an airframe from a boneyard. What's left of the airframe is being parted out. Political power couple Mary Madeline and James Carville are returning to the NBAA's Business Aviation Conference and Exhibition to give their unique perspective on the presidential election and other political issues. This takes place on November 2nd in Orlando. Well, that's the trip around the patch. Now let's move on to the rest of the news. The latest offering from Parrot bears a striking resemblance to one of the favorite spacecraft from Star Wars, the X-Wing fighter, to which we say it's about time. It's called the Swing, and it takes off and lands like a conventional quadcopter, but transitions to a winged aircraft during flight. Parrot CEO Henry Sado unveiled the Swing at a news conference in Paris on Tuesday. According to the Parrot website, the Swing has a 7-minute flight time and recharges in about 30 minutes. It carries a 60 frames per second camera. The Swing will fly about 80 feet in altitude and has a range of 65 feet when flown with a smartphone app, or 200 feet if it's controlled with a Parrot fly pad. It weighs just 10.4 ounces, and remember, at 10.4 ounces, it needs to be FAA registered, but if used for recreation only, a remote pilot certificate is not required. Well, that's our program for today. Remember that Airborne Unlimited is streamed daily Monday through Friday, with additional breaking news bulletins for important stories that fall outside of our normal deadlines. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe and check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Get comprehensive real-time 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. We'll be taking off for the long Labor Day weekend on Monday, so we hope you have a great holiday, and we'll see you Tuesday.